2021 truly turned back to 2020, chuckled, and said, "Hold my beer." Yeah, your eyes are not deceiving you. You read that title correctly. A new pandemic is coming, baby. And it's not your typical coronavirus either. No. This one is a whole avian influenza. I'm going to tell you all about this upcoming sequel to the COVID pandemic in a moment, but first, if you could please tap that like button for me, I would really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's just dive right into everything we know thus far about this new pandemic. India has been forced to cull tens of thousands of poultry due to an outbreak of a deadly avian influenza that was found to have killed a number of birds in the country. So far, 6 Indian states have ramped up efforts to stop the spread of what they believe is 2 strains of the bird flu. These 2 strains have been identified as H5N1 and H5N8. In just the last few days, thousands of ducks, chickens, crows, and even migratory birds like wild geese have all been culled in this process. Wildlife Chief Archana Sharma said that the death toll in just the last week or so at the Pong Lake crossed 2,400 migratory birds, and over 600 birds died last Monday alone. Over the past week, officials in northern Himachal Pradesh state reported that carcasses were found at a Himalayan lake. The most common bird to be killed off by this H5N1 was the Central Asian high-altitude bar-headed geese. They are the world's highest flying birds that often migrate to South Asia in flocks of thousands during the winter season. Additionally, to stop this from spreading any further, local authorities have banned the sale and export of any poultry in the region. In addition to this, they have also stepped up testing to control the spread. Although the real mass bird deaths came after a cull of nearly 35,000 birds in the southern Kerala state had an outbreak of H5N8. Government officials for the state said that the ducks were slaughtered, they were burned with firewood, diesel, and sugar. Following that controlled burn, a special team of experts also had to sanitize the area. Now, following this massive outbreak, the state also announced a contingency plan to manage the possible spread to humans. As reported by First Post, the health secretary said, "Avian influenza spreads rapidly, there could be a likelihood of humans getting affected." They continue by saying that as a precaution, the Directorate General of Health Services has evolved this contingency plan for the management of potential human cases. So far, more than 20 farms have also reported that their flocks have been wiped out by an unknown disease, and so samples have been sent to labs for further testing. Western states have also reported hundreds of crow deaths that were caused by H5N1 and H5N8 over the past few weeks. India is no stranger to experiencing bouts of devastating bird flu outbreaks though. In fact, the most recent and serious one was in 2008, and that one resulted in the death of millions of birds. The part that really hurts about this is that India's farmers do not need this extra grief. For almost 4 months now, there have been multiple clashes between farmers protesting and the police in India. Farmers in India have been rallying against 3 new laws that were enacted on September 20th that drastically threaten their livelihood. The Indian government is saying that these new changes to legislation are in place to give farmers more freedom, but according to the farmers, these laws are actually going to drive down their products' prices. In addition to that, they worry about a lack of safeguard to protect them against a corporation just coming in and taking over. The farmers in India are also arguing that the government did not hold sufficient consultation with them before signing these new laws into action. Up until this point, India's government has provided farmers with what's called a minimum support pricing. This is a fixed price that ensures farmers of 23 crops against any falls in farm prices. The real concern, as I mentioned, is larger corporations and private buyers coming in to monopolize the area. Now, going back to controlling of this bird flu though, states have been asked to increase surveillance around water bodies, live bird markets, zoos, and poultry farms. They also must ensure proper disposal of carcasses and strengthening of biosecurity in poultry farms. The pandemic we're going through now has at least prepared India to brace for the worst. They have also been asked to prepare for any eventuality of avian influenza and ensure sufficient stock of PPE kits and accessories required for culling operations. This is also causing an anxiety over the spread of the disease through the poultry market though. Prices of eggs and broiler chickens, for example, have dropped dramatically due to decline in demand. As reported by Indian Express, the ministry said, Chief Secretary's administrations were requested to arrange to issue appropriate advisories to quell consumer reactions affected by rumors and increase awareness regarding safety of poultry or poultry products that are safe for consumption following boiling cooking procedures. Apparently, all of these birds have been sent to labs for further testing, so it will still be about 3 or 4 days before health officials in India can report the origin of this new deadly avian influenza. And as always, as more information comes, we'll be the first to let you know. Don't forget to also follow us on Instagram for more daily news updates as well. And with that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled "Jojo Siwa in Big Trouble After This Mistake." Smallfire93 says, "Was someone drinking or high when they wrote those cards?" I mean, if you look at it, it definitely sounds like someone intoxicated wrote those cards. Average Gatsby says, "Can we normalize Johnny wearing a suit? He looking slick as fuck." Only on Thursdays. Which you get to see Friday, Saturday. Liz Multifan says, "I'm just wondering why the game is called JoJo Juice." Yeah, that part made me cringe a little bit too. That's a little weird name. There was no other good names that they had on the list? JoJo Juice? Alright. MayX says, "Explanation, they just pump out as many products as they can to earn money, they don't care." Oh, yeah, you're probably right, MayX. No, not probably. You're definitely right. Kathy Smith says, you know you don't care what people put on your face as long as you're getting that change. That is also true. I mean, the same thing happened to Tony Hawk. He was like, license my name, I put it on everything as long as I get paid. Hey, go for it. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy.